Alright guys, I wanted you guys to get more practice with different selection tools and layer masks again. Today's main selection tool though is going to be the magic wand because it is something that you'll use occasionally along with the object selection and the quick selection tool. So first things first, go ahead and click on one of these templates for the shoes. Make sure you click on it once and then you select download image to get the full res and not a low quality thumbnail like this. So click once, hit download image. You're going to go to Photoshop, hit open, and then look for that shoe template you just downloaded. So it should look something like this. Alright, so I do want to keep working in a non-destructive editing capability, so we'll go ahead and leave the background layer locked. But I do want you to find the magic wand tool. It might be behind the object selection tool like this, so just right click to find it. Now again, magic wand, if you hover over it, it will tell you that it selects basic colors. So in this case, it's only black and white, which is why it's going to work better than the other tools. So we'll start off with maybe this check mark here. All you have to do is make sure you're in the background layer and then click once, and you'll see that it'll select everything within here minus the stitches. And so that's exactly what we want. Once you see the marching ants, you want to go ahead and come to your layers panel, select create new layer, and we want to do a layer mask if you're doing a solid color or if you're painting something yourself. So let me show you what I mean. So here I can see that anything that's on this layer is only going to apply on what's white here on this layer mask. So I can grab my paint bucket tool, which if you don't see it right away, it's behind the gradient tool. So right click paint bucket, and let's say, just for the sake of this, it looks like I'm on grayscale, so I have to come to image in my menu bar, hover over mode, RGB color. Oh, sorry, I was on the layer mask. That was my bad. So there we go. Sure, we'll just do that for now. Okay, so I'm now on my layer. Oh no, my selection went away. There we go. I'm on my layer, and I'm just going to click once, and you'll see that the whole layer is actually this green color, but it's only coming through on what we have selected here in our layer mask. So that's for basic colors. I do recommend that you use a website to find your color palette first, so I'll show you what I mean by that. If I were to do, this is going to get deleted afterwards, but let's say that I have an idea for the color palette. I'm going to bring this over here so y'all can see. I can either come in here and then copy these, apply the hex code here. Oh. There we go. Or you can also click right here, copy as, do export for now, image, and then I'll have it as a full image instead of having all of these in here. So that's an option. Again, I'm okay if you just do the squares here too, and then you change them that way. Either or is fine. If you do them this way, I recommend that you select all of these once you're done, and then hit the group folder, and this will be your colors. And this is just so you can swatch a lot easier, Okay, the image one is as simple as going into your downloads and then dragging and dropping your color palette. And then you have to hit enter or the check mark up top, and I'm just going to drop that in my colors. So this is what I could recommend. That way you can just use the eyedropper tool and you don't have to make the colors every single time. But let's go ahead and keep going. So with this background again, let's say I want to work on this top part here. So it's selected, I'm going to hit new layer, hit that clipping mask, or I'm sorry, that layer mask button, come back to my layer button here, and let's say I wanted to paint something this time, and let's say I want to use this pink, grab my paintbrush tool, and I don't know, you can spend your time doing this, but just wanted to show you that you can draw with your paintbrush. And now that only applies to this section here. So that's how basic colors work, or if you wanted to paint something on. If you wanted to do a pattern, which I do recommend or require that you do have some sort of pattern, it could be something like this where you make it, or if you want to Google search a pattern, you totally can. You can do right click, copy image. Sometimes that works for some images, other times you have to actually save it, and I'll go over saving it here in a bit. But let's say I copied it. This one works slightly different. So we have to, let's say I want to apply it here. Oops, deselect, not there, right here. I'm in my background layer. I'm going to, I haven't made anything yet because when you paste something it creates a new layer. So I'm going to do Command V to paste. I'm going to grab my move tool. Alright, it's still not on there. So it did make a new layer, so I'm going to go back to my background, grab my magic wand tool and then select it again. I'm going to come to my pattern layer now, and I can click on the layer mask button again and it'll clip only to that section. Now let's say it didn't clip the way you wanted to. I can see it's getting cut off there. You have to come and click on this unlink button right here in your layers panel. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's almost like a little paperclip symbol. Once you unlink it, oops, gotta make sure I'm in the actual image. You can come and scale it, rotate it. Once you're happy, make sure you hit enter this check mark up here, and then you can turn this back on. Thing is, if you don't unlink it, like the whole thing moves with the layer mask. So again, unlink it first, and then you can resize and scale up if as needed. This is a horrible, obviously not thought out example, but let's keep going so I can show you how to select multiple items. So an example, if I were to click on here, it only clips the bottom, and let's say you wanted this top part to be the same. If you hold down the shift key as you're clicking on stuff, it adds to your current selection. So this top part over here is kind of getting cut off. So yeah, holding down shift allows you to add multiple things to your selection. And one thing I've been terrible at doing is not naming as I go, so I'm going to create a new layer now, layer mask, and I'm going to call this the back, or heel, back, whatever you want to call it. You just have to understand it. This top one here, I'm going to call it the check mark. If you're unsure, you can click the eye icon to see which part it belongs to, but it gives you a good example here, or preview. We'll do front, center. But yeah, that's basically repeating this over and over, where you come back to your background, grab magic wand tool, say this insole right here, create new layer, create layer mask, and you can keep working. Okay, the only thing of course is when you copy paste stuff from the internet, it'll make its own layer, so you might have to hide it, make the selection, and then apply it to the pattern layer. Once you're done, go ahead and hide the colors, do file save as a PSD, and I don't believe I have a naming convention, but you can just leave it as shoedesign.psd, and you're going to upload the Photoshop file.